Mame fa na say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
About the 24 hours economy, President John Mahama's 24 hours economy. It has been launched and it has got the netizens talking. And recently, I did a quick breakdown on this 24 hours economy. And Kevin Taylor, our senior man Kevin Taylor, has also done his breakdown, and I want us to listen to his own point of view in this 24 hours economy. So in the next video that I'm going to play for you, now I'm going to play Kevin Taylor's reaction on the 24 hours economy. Let's get to the video. You're watching PENDREAM TV. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, like and share our content, and make sure that you comment. If you have any concern that is bothering you, you can drop it at the comment section.
This is what we call the 24-hour economy. John Dramani Mahama will launch 24-hour economy. Mahama launches 24-hour economy and export program. 24-hour economy and export program. Now pledges private sector leadership. Now John Mahama launching program we know. Saturday no launching no. Say program way a 24-hour economy policy no. 8 pillars are ebejinaso. About way since about power they have always dragged along or always moved along with the private sector. Near to Kroma and another dankuku for the MPP catcher say Ghana beyond 8. Ebe sinde maintain say MPP ni bien and waka Ghana beyond 8 da because it was a lie. Yatiana Maka say one district one factory MPP for power omoba be factories. A buying ABC factories. At the end of the day, I'm going to say, oh, factory be anywhere. Now, factory be ordered that. Any idea, so. Now, this NDC government in opposition, I'm going to say they want this country to run 24 hours. And the 24-hour economy policy they are bringing, they are going to bring the public sector and also the private sector. They made you know from the beginning, say, Abainenqua cannot implement 24-hour economy, and that the bigger force will come from drive free the private sector. John Mahama share bono, sebio ebono share no, wandane no, ebona no, maybe ujina, amende ya launch 24-hour economy. Abaino enya butre ejujo machre, na yenu bina mo PZ ni asenkriguani bibi no ebu ha in some neba muntibi. It may be 24-hour economy now by lunch, how it is going to impact you as a Ghanaian. And Bebayana is simple. Break it down and make it basic. Send a bay out to one say 24-hour economy say aban we can say or the end 24-hour no government no NDC aban say or the Ghana for and the 24-hour economy no. And how is it going to do that? Remember, aban cannot employ more. Remember, Abain cannot waste a lot of money again on wages. Abain does not have the money. But Abain can create wages from we, the citizenry, the private sector. Abain can work with us in collaboration to raise revenue to, at the end of the day, build this nation. In the 24-hour economy, anytime you are Tibiano, also who say a John Mahama debaye, it is yani how we are going to meet the government halfway, and in the 24-hour economy, at the end of the day, how many companies now buying B? But the small institutions are buying there at the support. Any other institutions, buying is going to activate them to work 24 hours. Passport office, some of the hospitals. But the chunk of the job will depend on the private sector. Because the private sector, a Ghana fwa, Mwankasa, Motitimu Moruma, Mudi Mojuma no, Mope se abain any mudinsa waswo, na Sebio Mojuma mutre, na abain sunya home for na munya home for and then your private sector participation in government policy. And the NDC abaino, a private sector no, abeka a dien, a amamu. Mamen church the munchro 24-hour economy. MPP for Ejimi in 2024. Omudi free SHS policy by from 2020. Omudi hun komosa edrum brebi. John Mahama ka say obese obe review no free SHS ye. Review SHS say obesha ade mu kena. Nyoma bi a enko ye no watene no. MPP4 led by Akufo-Addo ba Omiane Kwasiafo moka. Omoka say review means cancel. And it's a MPP ni so a lawyer or a communicator or a MPO alternative so catch us on free SH on 24-hour economy as Senekwasia every say obia on review as say there's no way as any panabeti 24-hour economy as say. See me? Obia on review as no. There is no way. It does not matter school or work. We give it to the point to say ultimately 24-hour economy as say. So do not waste your time on the foolish MPP communicator. It does not matter the title the person carries. We Jimmy, if it says I won't review as here, how can you understand 24-hour economy? So we as Ghanaians, I was saying, you ignore these fools called the MPP and look at the policies the government is implementing. And the encourage school. So we need to ignore the foolish MPP and look at the policies the government is ready to implement and activate to benefit you and I. Now, yanko into the 24-hour economy. The 8 pillars are Ebabe Jinaso, Edi Jumano, Amayena Huatoye. Now, first of all, maybe King Kai, PZ Funtinama Jujum, Otum for Nana, and Yawan Kamenye. Anyway, the 24-hour plus program is designed. You got a 24-hour plus programmer, meaning the other programs are account into a 24-hour economy. And yet, just you can say economy are one thing, but there are a lot of things in the economy. And it's a 24-hour plus because export count. Yeah, the export. Nyoma, you be no krumha na ya ton ediako amanane. Any other things into a 24-hour plus policy no NA. Now, it will create 1.7 million jobs within 4 years. Into abine say in fear 9 pe 24-hour plus policy we know ebe create in Yuma within 4 years no 1.7 million jobs. Now, Obega say, hey, Aban can sakeke. Sana kufu adu kwa champagne you obeke can be actually one district, one factory, one constituency, then yemushi. Aban we actually specifications. Baby a jumani be free aba. Into omenya abuche say me CNN, Ghana CNN, loud silence. Ye me chirem na afe min chirem uwie no. Ubehu baby in jumani be free aba. In afe 4 years no. Ubehu in juma 24-hour economy plus na ediaba. Entity 1.7 million baby a human be free abano and be chechumi. A be free about extended productivity. A year beyond the traditional 8-hour workday through shift system. A binary say productivity be cost now ye ba be a year ye be expanded and you be a year a mredodua and hours do a year jumano ako a year 3 shift system. 8 hours no. Now a year boost export. Ebeboa ama sebio nyoma ye de bekwa abruchiri no enuaba ye bedua no ha cashew ni ade ye pese ye de kwa abruchi koton no ebe no so ebema emu peja na nyoma sebio ye kraba no eso beti ene de bema yenya aye abrofu sika eye dollar na oman no ensika sem egina ne na so. Now integrate value chain across agriculture, manufacturing, logistics and services. Inti abasa na omo mu ye kua omo asebio omo ye nyoma bi te se eye de omo manufacture nyoma omo so omo ye logistics won nyoma any services obi wo ha ebia shazi any omo ye courier services our services no sa nyoma ni nyina betuma besisi eni na ebie ama indwuma aba ekronim. Attract private investors with 300 to 400 million in seed capital from government and nearly $2 billion in private commitment. Abain away sika almost 300 to 400 million dollars. Edi si was say a sika ye de be share a 24-hour economy no ye de be shem edi start. Eye ne friend eye den jetria ye de be share 24-hour economy plus nim. Into 24-hour plus no into abain $400 million. In fact, so wo hwemu pa eye private sector no almost so ankra for person this sika be shem no eye almost 2 billion. It shows to say oman no ankra for are ready and aban so are ready a ombeka omontuma sieni achechire Ghana me be kire eye impoma eye nwotwe a aban ebe gina so e dey 24-hour plus no ama oman no 1.7 million job realization no within 4 years no yen sabeka na eye indwuma so bebie na eye dey Ghana yesika sam egina de na so. Now CNN na wo hwe no eye Ghana CNN remember Remfi. Now this is how it's going to be. Number 1 no be manufacturing Ghana's industrial future. Now, focus and scaling up manufacturing to reduce new exports and increase value added goods. Example, 50 industrial parks across Ghana. Akosombo, Japan, garment park for textiles and apparel export. Kumasi machinery hub for agro processing and light engineering. It focus no bako and 24-hour economy ebe no ebeba manufacturing. Say nia yebetumi ayeden yebetumi aye nyoma na sebio yama enyoma no edimu na sebio aye presentable na yetuma ton yeka say the value aka ho a utumi ya ade bi sebio ade no esombo na emom sibia wa package no sibia ade no wama no egina ne na so a eye akono no ebia sa ade no untumi nya ne sa aban through the 24-hour economy no aban besides get me the one get me sorry this is one sorry I went to 2 this is besides, get me the one. So, 2 no air manufacturing. Send a beya ube to me air value. I can't air nyoma ye manufactured okrum ha. It will be all Ghana. nebia or manufacture bibi to say ebia pencil obo also otumi eye bibi to say garment entoma aban pese oboa saa indwuma we nyina na saa industries we nyina no sebio omo begina omo na so na omo tumi eden etumi print more na yekoton abroche ye de value ka ho akosomo Japan garment park for textiles and apparel export. Sa companies in ho aban e de sa sika we bi e be hyem ema ombetumi ayentuma papa sebio Chinese de na ye kraba no ye betwa so na Ghana so yetumi aye bi kese wo ha ya ye dodo no wo ha na yetumi aye den akoton bi wa abrochiri enjuma nkura nketwa so a omo ye entuma ho dwuma a omo print ntuma eye entade no omo so aban de sika be hyem na omo gina omo na so na omo ye dwuma che se ne be ya den oman no sikasem ebebiem na sebio eye den ankura so edwumadi omudi no omusikasem ebegina na so. Now we the second point. Now second pillar. The first pillar no enie. I'm sorry, I skipped the first pillar. The first pillar is about growth. Now the growth no agriculture for sovereignty and sustainability. Almost equia enso adie bia 24-hour plus no and so ebedi ntintiman pa. Now revitalizing agriculture through climate smart tech enabling farming. And an example would be Eden Volta, transforming the Volta basin into West Africa's breakfast. And a year Shikpon, urban farming using smart irrigation in Accra and Kumasi. And a Agbeduwo parks. And a agroecological zones with irrigation, solar power, and processing hubs. So this is also another pillar of the 24-hour plus. Now about equia, yabese equia, sebio equia da equia debia yebetumi di sebio yere ashim ebema yenuane enye equia ye nende ya na ekwo na sebio asay into your friend sustainable agriculture. Agriculture ebede no ho se yekase ye de sika hyema debia yedum pempenso bia ye ne ebetumi afidi ye ho yebetumi adi aduane bi so afidi ye ho ne aton bi eno na 24-hour economy no ebeden ede eniso ebesi so nti eno no bi ne say ukọ be ti say Volta region sa insu a eda Volta region a sebio amanfo frɛ no the black voter, I think so. Sa insu de say insu bi a ekɔ eman efa Ghana sebio efa baby bebree etumi kopie amanfo fro so aban ne say omo pese omo make use of that insuo no se ne be ya omo sa insuo no a omo di dwa omo pese omo de omo nyoma ba ekrom ebi so e de nyoma efa ko nkro so enku adwuma ene ade no aban no ebepe den ekwan bi so use insuo ni ye se e bia ship kwa no besi so na sebio afa sa insuo no so ekọ na eba na ekuafo omo ho etumi de den omo enyoba anase omo products nyina no eguso na omo de ba krom na omo beton aban no be utilize saa insuo ni ye se ne be ya ekuafo a omo ho ni nyina no sebio omo nyina nso omo ye kua na omo nnoba no anase omo nyoma na omo bedua no ebetumi afine ni way aba de ekrom omo so enya omo sika nti aban be use we nyina example saa insuo na eda ahonamemu no aban pese saa insuo a Ghana ekuafo be use a sebio technically ebe a transport channel a ekuafo a omo wo saa nkronkro a etwa Ghana ho hia omo da saa insuo na no nyina no omo nyina nso ebetumi use saa insuo no edi omo nduaba edi abade ekrom omo obibi ti say Shikpon urban farming using smart irrigation in Accra and Kumasi and a 24-hour economy no ye ba be ye infuo e okrom na eno no ka kire obi obaka say ebe na wa ye fu okrom and the oba abrochira yetumi si edan tenten obekọ so no my garden wosoro ebi wa ha utumi come and tembi na yaka say area ha de yendua yensi dan wa ha ye be green ha nyina na de aye a particular small farm tech de irrigation ye betuma connecting nsu ama no sebio ye betuma wo small farms in the city and memako Italy there are so many of them there. Oko Europe, some of the countries are ebi okra edan so no ubon say ya garden wosoro sa anyo na aban na epese 24-hour economy no mekai se John Mahama eka enkokon ketinketi ende asamwajan mu nyina akesefo kra eje nkokon ketinketi adwuma ne ye ende Ghana uyi imbebunu tena nipa beye enan ara enum omu nyina are into poultry farming. That is what the 24-hour economy wants to do. It wants people to control their own future, be their own farmers, be their own bosses. Inti even a kromu krampo no obeka se na me ameti kromu de e be na metuma yekua John Mahama ni 24-hour economy policy na aba no mo amuti eye ekurom kurati kumase tenkran no mo betumi take advantage of it. Your modern kind of farming, you don't need to go deep in the forest to farm. You can be in the urban areas, you can still do farming. Irrigation system here good. Technology aba itumi eboa emetumi ye small gardens in the city is also part. Amafo betumi to show mo say unia ye nam nkran ye pensase a eyo bi dia se bi onye ready say obi develop this year ye be say odi asase na 6 years the ben say ye ba be ye the fish pond ye ba be dua the garden eggs. We are going to make it in such a way say we are going to make sure say the value be ho ye be export it. That is small enketenkete na about together a country becomes economically independent. And these are some of the things 24-hour economy in now oko the third pillar our 24-hour economy no more me chechiri mu achiro utie Ghana CNN very very important. Now third pillar near builds 24 infrastructure for integrated growth. Now focus will be on building the fiscal backbone for 24-hour productivity. Examples will be rehabilitating the roads and bridges in trade corridors. Also inland water transport on Volta Lake and strategic air cargo hubs for exports like pineapple and pharmaceuticals. Into 24-hour economy no aban any private sector na into the aban person and say infrastructure so ehia pa into aban edeni eba beko de enkwan ana ekwan ahodro e wo Ghana ekwan a ehia pa say e wo sa kwan ye na ema edwuma ye no se bi ebe wawa into ekwan any bridges bi a aban hu ni say very vital. Sa bridge we ya ekuafo nnuane e fa so no so much into also we dey important. Aban say 24-hour economy no sika ye dey abehye no enu bi na ye dey ba be select some of the bridges any enkwan bi a wo se ye obebi a farming area. Sa kwan no so person implement 24-hour economy. Now we bridge that gap between the city and the villages are. Sa ekwan wanya enuane no entumi mba nti sa ekwan no ene sa bridges no aban say because of the 24-hour economy no eno say ade bi a omoni ebesi hu a omo be make sure say omo ayesa anyoma no eba inland water transport na me ka kire no Volta Lake no eno so be use insuo no sebio ede didwuma sa insuo no entumi ntene nkokwa e say entumi de kodo bi siso sa kodo no ebeko tire tutire ekuafo omo kwan ho nyina no obi abetumi afa ne nyoma e de akọ the next city the next town to make sure say business is up and down obi a edwuma yekoba sebia yekoba no na sika efa nipa nsem na oman no emu bie sebia obi wo ha onyankobe yekua oni ekua ni we be yedwuma nanso se ne be obefiri bebi owo no akọ bebi ekua ni wo no ensuo so na wo so fa oni ekwan bi obefa so interbind the canoes a boat ebesisi sansuo no so na a transporting for any aduane any services sene be ya sebi obi wo ha oti bebi enso betuma fa nsuo so akoye adwuma no aba sa anyowa no eboa ema de economy ejina na so eba pharmaceutical services na any production companies na aban so make sure 24-hour economy no strategic air cargo hubs and also ye betumi aye bibia omo ye inro omo so a sebio omo eye bibi te say abrobe any nyoma bi baby omo wono ebia access to those places na adding aban ebefa kwan bi so nyoma bi wo ha I was say ye try na yetumi ema ne beka ensa e okrom no aban ebetoto ema sa nyoma ni nyina so ejina na so. These are all part of the 24-hour economy policy NDC aban 9 8 pillars ejina so nti enye just one statement obia be hwehwem I dey say enamampesie no wohwem a de wo pe no na weyi. Now oko the fourth pillar 24-hour plus no enie eno culture, creativity and tourism for jobs. And focus no on monetizing Ghana's culture, asset and creative industry. Examples in a tourism cluster along Volta Lake and Cape Coast. And also support for film, music and fashion export, diaspora engagement through heritage tourism. So basically tourism and so any creativity, culture and also one part of 24-hour economy. They will look at how they can convert some of our cities into tourism hubs. Maybe it's a Volta region. People want to travel on the lake, the Volta Lake. They don't know how to do it. I buy able to me the boat. So it will be a tourist attraction and for transport tourist. The back and send them across the Volta region all the way to the central region. A month 4% or we use some of the rivers or these are all the things that are buying here. Inti ewo 9 bebree enya yakaze 24-hour economy pa MPP for Jimmy to omonti ase bibi to say support for film, music and fashion export nyoma bebree o ha ye industry na film industry no omu hia aban pese ohyemu kena na ejina ne naso se ne be ya yebetuma di dwuma ama ye sini twa na ye twa no ejina ne naso aban pese odi sika hyem omom pese omko into film acting omom pese omko into production omom pese omko into creating stars out of the industry no omom pese omo so omo export talent ni nyina no is part of the 24-hour economy aban pese ombeja the tourism industry no behind. They don't want to leave the creative the art behind. They want to also move them or tag them along. Now where the fourth pillar. Omo mo abroche so person ne Ghana din sa woso eba 24-hour economy na aban ebe making sure say was set pace no to make it easy for people to connect. Omo pese almost idiom culture baha no aban will make sure it becomes very easy. The Foreign Affairs Ministry, the Tourism Ministry, they will make sure they build a platform. It will be a conveyor belt. It will be the propeller. So the exchange what we call intellectual mindsets when it comes to tourism and how to export them and also share ideas. Heritage, any tourism. No, these are things that the government and making sure the 24-hour economy. No, pillar number 5 no any. Pillar number 5 are 24-hour plus the business no ebinie. Now, supply chain and market system efficiency. Focus now will be on fixing logistics and market access bottlenecks. Example ni bine cold chain networks for perishable exports, digital trade platforms for SMEs, and multimodal transport linking farms to ports. Inti abine say the 5th pillar 24-hour economy plus the business no is simple when it comes to cold chain network for perishable export. Now, eba nyoma ebi say tomatoes, muko, nyoma bia ye twa ya e wo say sebi o yetumi ton no. Adekudi ntia eba Ghana titru obi a tomato seller, obi a oton garden egg tomato farmer, garden eggs farmer, obi a onion farmer. There na ema nyoma no obi a mango farmer, obi ha nyoma e prontem. Aban say 24-hour economy woman who say nyoma bebre o Ghana ehye anase esi omo yesa ekuafo no esi omo kwan ema oman no enya ho mfaso no omo so nya ho mfaso obo ha otumiti anka botto be 50 na egu baako se ne be ya ode botto no anka no beduru krom na yetuma beduru bebi a wo se du ne ye de kɔ amano ne kura kɔtɔn no na ye din aban se 24-hour economy no omo de omo ni behwe saade no se ne be ya omo se bi omo yekuafo a omo dua nyoma e prontem no se ne omo dua ba no anase omo twa omo nyoma na ebeduru krom ntem se ne be ya so omo den kura sa nyoma no omo de kwa amano ne ebi Togo Benin krampo na ebetumi ayen tentem wano a empro wo munsem ema omo dwuma omo nyina enye kwa nti aban no ebe den ebe make sure say sa nkofo na omo dua nnuaba e prontem no nani beko omo ho na wafa ekwan bi so a omo nyoma no omo twa omo de betumi aba den aba krom ntem se freezer no be gum begum transportation of those things no ebetumi aba intentem nti ombe set up den akwan a ombe betumi afa so a sa nyoma ni nyina no ebeba krom ye betumi atombi na ya tombi so amano ne na oman enya ho den sika digital trade platforms for SMEs and so wa winim ompese omo making sure say amanfo omo ye ndwuma nketenkete omo ye omo ankasa small medium enterprises no store small companies na omo Ghana no aban pese or find a way a omo so betuma ton omo nyoma e wa brochire ene Ghana se ne be ya enye edin ebe easy amomo eno no omo betuma build platforms amomo a and the small shop will be ehye okankwa sa small shop no obi betumi ato bibi efri no ho etua no online ama ne nsaka sa nyoma no courier services beba nti aban no ebeboa ema ndwuma twetwopo anketenkete no kra no omo so ewo aban edien krata so a ompese mbo omo so omo nyina omo boa na omo nyesika Inti small shops the companies are more where man tim no aban enjoy mu ekyire aban de omu nyina beka ho omo build platforms amomo obi to kankwe na the stock ketu bi nyoma ketu bi na oye enso tumi ton nyoma e okumase ni nyina ne sene aban ebe use the digital platforms no to make sure say people get access to a year almost services. Into the account, multimodal transport linking farms to port. Into Aban is looking at how to link Equiafor Omofuno to a central part of the country and also to the port. Senebeya say Aban to me connected the trains and the roads and the bridges are. Ya tamo nyomana say the port direct to the port. Say o shipade China. Nyomani free baby wana farmer service center no so be boy Equiafor nyoma mu ye no ejane na so into ucha nyomana na yeje edwa de ekọ nti saa na aban ne 24-hour economy no policy no ne 9 na the number 5 no the jane na so number 5 no eno no aka just say 8 pillars and 24-hour economy no ejina so. Now number 6 no capital for inclusive and strategic investment. Focus no will be on unlocking finance for businesses and infrastructure. Example ni bi ni say strategic value chain development funds SVCD and funded partly by levies on imports, time of use electricity tariffs to lower nighttime production costs, and a tax rebate up to 50% for 24-hour operations. Into strategic value chain development fund, funded partly by the levies. Into the Omubabe say strategically, Omubabe making sure say when it comes to value chain now. Sika sebio omudibe shem amanejina na so when it comes to the things we manufacture and the kind of businesses we are going to do, which all fall under 24-hour economy. No, sa nyomano. They are going to fund it partly by the levies on import. Into nyomana sebio yebe krabano taxes yebe tosono sa nyomana yebe bano ye yisu kakra ene sa nyoma abai benya kakra no eno ene yebe she sa de value chain development num sene be ya ye krom ha nyuma e wa ha no so begina omona so. Into abai is strategically trying to cut down the amount of importer eba kronim. Now you do a lot of export. Send a bay a man for the bedi, bedi jar, or mesika. Now, the crabano ebe kitwebi. So strategically, the government wants to build their economy locally stronger. They want our economy to be more attractive. You bring more revenue than basically spending money to bring in things. Now, about a time of use electricity tariffs. I'm catch them. The abandon say, the policy be so eba. More mobile fall under 24-hour economy voluntarily. Mobile enroll our 24-hour economy plus mo electricity no aban be hwe aka ho sama mo. Sebio asemesia only 24-hour economy so 2,000 ubetua de ewo form echensa. Aban ebe make sure say sa mo mobile join 24-hour economy bia mo enroll voluntarily no. Mo light bill some mo scania sama mo di bo adwuma through an adwono mo boa afa adwuma no mo sika mo light bill no aban ma mo special meters ebeti aba form muntia to say omuni 24-hour economy policy nim and a tax rebate up to 50%. More mobile voluntarily. Mwanka sama kuma pem mobile join 24-hour economy no eba mo tax mobile tiano aban at the 50% becha into other 24-hour economy no so na so wutia tax let's say roughly 2 million Ghana cedis aban at 1 million becha because of your contribution, because also who fanipa, because also who ye juma at the revenue ma aban ma Ghana for ma hono aban ebe making sure say tax no you better so 50% send a beya obeboa amagana no ejina na so we 24-hour economy policy no 8 pillars are ejina so no and a miche chimachro we Ghana CNN Loud Silence TV and I will share mema refi. Now, point 7, human capital development and no focus equipping Ghanaians with skills for a 24-hour economy. Examples libini. TVET alignment with industrial needs, digital skill training for youth, entrepreneurship boot camps for informed sector workers. So basically, when it comes to human capital, nipananka say etikrodum no aban pese opekwan bi so na ode de ode boaye ma ye nianka sa no ye nyini ewo ye ndwuma ya yeyem ye nyanyansa sebio yetumi esua nyoma na yetumi boaye ma ye ndwuma ye beye no eno so etumi de mfaso ebre oman no so pese o ye 24-hour economy a unhia nipa omwo kroma omunim de omoye sebio omo won sa ne dwuma senio edwuma ombedi no ebetumi aboa oman na aboa omonso ma omotiye intaban se eba ɛyɛ TVET a matia yɛsɛ nkwara nko school enko sua nsano dwuma a aban de bɛhyɛ 24-hour economy ni mu sɛ na bɛyɛ a nkwara na sɛ bi wɔbɛkɔ TVET no aban bɛtumi alinkin nkwara no de ama ɛyɛ industries ɛwɔ Ghana nti wokɔ TVET no na wokɔ saa school no na wokɔ sua nsano dwuma wɔ saa school na ɛnyɛ din sɛ wobɛnya adwuma ɛwɔ industry bi because aban bɛdi ngyina mu ama wo sɛ wo so no saa ɛyɛ school a wokɔ yɛ nti wowɔ nsano dwuma wei wopɛ sɛ woyɛ specific job bi aban bɛboa ama saa facilitate ama saa adwuma no wenya nti ɛyɛ skill ne nyinaa ɛyɛ deɛ human ɛyɛ capital yɛ develop Ghana mbɛbunu no ama mo nya nsano dwuma na aban no through the 24-hour economy no ɔmotumi so aboa ma wenya adwuma nti TVET no ɔmo de align anase ɔmo de join 24-hour economy no nti mo a mo kɔ TVET no mo nkɔ school wie mbɛtena fie mo kɔ school ewie abɛnya adwuma efisɛ aban nim sɛ wo wie a wo nsano dwuma nti wobɛnya beebi akɔhyɛ ɛba digital skill training for youth ɛno ɛba ɛyɛ ɔmo a mo bɛ join 24-hour economy no a ɛyɛ digital training mmɛbunu na mo bɛkɔ into digital training ɛyɛ abɛɛfo computer ɛyɛ coding program abɛyi saa coders yi a yɛkyerɛ ɔmo any other people who fall under the digital ɛyɛ deɛ economy no saa skill training mu wie a the aban no bɛn sɛ ɔbɛboa na saa nkwara no so enya beebi ahyɛ abɔ adwuma nti this all falls under 24-hour economy job creation jobs you need to look for it you need to chase it you are going to get it entrepreneurship boot camps for informal sector workers sebio your nkofo bi a omo atomade ache omo didwa ache omo nko school nanso eba adwadi a oboa ye ma me no bebre tete kantamanto tete kejetia omo nko school da enso omo didwa akwanim saa nkofo nya ye ntumi nje omo echire aban ebepe kwan bi so enso akyerɛkyerɛ omo se na be ya and modern eye adwadie se na ye kɔ and digitalization nti udidwa kura oye oba ma papa na bia wan ko school cry this usuro aban no ebe make sure say omo be create avenue ama ye ma menem na ye de omo so ba ka omo mate ase ene 2025 yi se ne edidwa sabi kofo nyoma kura wo sehwia sabio eje se betena ka ma na mekɔ e wo se me friend nipa bi e wo se metumi share me contact e wo se omo hu se be do time we e wo se omo hu se nyoma na me beto no ye calculate a metuma send sika na amomo through a digital platform ye be kire omo se ne omo bekɔ kwan so se na bebi omo metuma book omo hotel kura ansa na omo duru hɔ nipa omo kosi omo so enti sa boot camp ni nyina no omo be kire omo informal sector sabio omo ko school so omo didwa na se omo ye dwuma bi na aban de omo be ka 24-hour economy no na omo aboa ama oman ne gina ne na so enti aban no enje obi a we chire pillar na etoso number 7 enie number 8 pillar 24-hour plus no ebegina so no enie eba eye governance and civic engagement focus now will be on driving implementation monitoring and national ownership examples will be civil mobilization through religious academic and youth groups public sector reforms to support 24-hour service delivery and a performance dashboard to track progress. It's basically the way governance and civic engagement in action said, Abai, everyone who money, we did a 24-hour economy, no, Obama Ghana for Atiasie, in Chechem, Nubekoso, Ombabwa, Ama, and sorry, any in Kuo, Nina Atiasie, near too much church, na Yenina, so you to me the Sa, a general, and Mwano Abwa Bain, Ama Ghana for Ghana Nibia Beja to say, 24-hour economy, no, it does not matter, baby, we are Juma, dia, we are new, Mesino, engineer, Fito, Yenina, you fall under it at a specific area. A place in Tiana, Yabena Junipa, Edia Tutu for Achech, and sorry, schools, groups, youth organizations, Yanina, Abansa, Obabwa, Ediskaka Crashim, now you to me Achech, Ama, Sajumadi, Ejana Naso. Into a fapium in Watchi and a 24-hour plus in Ejinaso, John Mahama Lanchi, Namuya Montias, Abanwe, Omoka, Omoye. Ghana Sian and Awutiano, Mejum, Emma Pizza for United here. Into South Sobika 24-hour economy. Make us say, hey, and Yadia Bakupo, a bebre. Abain any ankrankra and ebeto monsa adi in sawaso ama 24-hour economy we ejina ne naso mema kwase bi gojira bebi se 24-hour economy e den and the machirechirem mama Ghana fo hu bebi a obi a hye omo munko school shem omo mako school shem omo asebi omusa shem omo mo wa shem sebi omo a omo ni fra kura shem ewe eye Ghana ekuafo shem mesin fo shem eye the driver fo shem me obi a shem build ema obi a abe join ne a build economy no ne a build Ghana for in the 24-hour economy plus no
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase na so far so good say open online portal e wo Ghana nipa share nipa follow nipa comment here to my best of knowledge without any biases PENDREAM TV